UBT's Action Line podcast is a production of UBT Media. In this episode, we're diving into a serious topic with some light-hearted guests. Yes, we're diving into the story of Ron's automotive accident in the driveway, and you don't want to miss this one. Welcome to United by Trucks Action Line podcast. I'm your host, Robbie Purser. In this podcast, we dive deep with those who share a love for classic trucks, like to have some good old-fashioned automotive fun, telling stories, truths, and maybe even a few exaggerated tales. Brought to you by Sweet Patina and Auto Metal Direct, this is our place to lay it all on the table and learn what happens when our guests mix fuel, spark, and air. Welcome back to the United by Trucks Action Line podcast. I am so glad to have this episode coming out for you guys. I'm going to keep this intro short because there's a lot to get to in this episode. We are joined by Alex Walker, our longtime LS tuning buddy out of Gainesville, Georgia, and TTR himself, one of you guys' all-time favorite guests, whether it's on the United by Trucks channel or a guest on this podcast. Ron's been a part of UBT for many years. Alex has too, and so we've got some great stories and a great conversation to let you guys in on. We talk a little bit about barn find trucks, and then we jump in to the ever-sensitive but somehow still lighthearted topic of Ron's automotive accident where a truck fell on him in his driveway. Many of you know that happened. For those of you who don't, he gets into all the details in this story. So we don't want to make light of this. We really want folks to understand and hopefully learn how they might avoid something happening to them like this. And if you do, what might be of assistance to you. So we've had tons of questions from folks in the UBT world and the classic truck world asking about Ron, and he obviously is sitting in this room and giving you guys an awesome update. So big thanks to Ron and Alex. Alex was also on site with Ron earlier in the day and then on site right after the accident happened. So he's got some specific insight, and he has all the credibility in the world in that he is a fireman, a first responder, an EMT. So he kind of sheds some light on some of the medical components of Ron's story as well. So I think you'll find this conversation interesting, educational, and still somehow funny. So we're going to jump in here in just a minute, but before we do, we got to say a big thanks to our friends over at Sweet Patina. If you're looking for any patina care products or professional paint products, you can head over to sweetpatina.com. They have some of the best products on the market in that space. I particularly like their patina sauce, their century polish, and their satin black in an aerosol can. So go check out sweetpatina.com. Use the code UBT5 to get a discount at checkout. Also, our friends over at Auto Metal Direct have been a longtime supporter of United by Trucks and more specifically this podcast. They have all your metal needs covered, but they are more than metal. You can head over to autometaldirect.com and check out all the body parts, body panels, interior pieces, all sorts of trim pieces that they have for classic cars and trucks. Just head over to autometaldirect.com. Check them out. Now, let's get into it. Just a conversation. It's all fun and games.
That's what I told him.
It's so easy, man. I can understand the nerves. I mean, yeah. I've done this with other people before, and it's like,
well, I told Alex,
how's this going to go? But you got to think I got your best interest in mind. Yeah. I'm not going to make you look like a fool.
Well, I appreciate it.
I think 3 is easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one-on-one, I think I'd probably be a little nervous with that, but the 3 is just a conversation.
There's really no dead space. Like if somebody's like, I don't really have something to say on that, somebody's got something to say, you know. Well, this is really cool to have you both in the room. Are we rolling, honey?
Oh, yeah, we've been rolling.
We've been rolling. I like that.
All right.
That was a good intro then.
Yeah, it was great. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. Alex been wanting to have you on, just even if it was one-on-one or with Ron. I figured it'd be way more fun with Ron because everything's more fun with Ron.
He's a fun guy. He is. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
I got a couple elementary, middle school teachers who would disagree, but yeah.
Would they?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should get some of them in here.
Oh, man. How much time do you have on this show?
You just be like, look at me now.
Yeah, look at me now.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about this on the way over here, and the only thing I could think of when I was like, I mean, you need no introduction, Ron, but I was just thinking of a phrase that I could come up with that might explain or refer to some of the latest circumstances you've been dealing with, and I came up with danger dodging.
Danger dodging.
Even though you got yourself in a little danger, you dodged a bullet all at the same time. You know what I mean?
I did. Yeah. It was,
well, we'll get into that in just a minute, but I'm really glad to have you both here. I think this is we're gonna have a lot of fun. I think folks will learn something from it, and even if they don't, hopefully they'll be entertained. And it's just fun for me. This is my new way to just sit down with my friends and talk about whatever we want to talk about, and it just. I don't know. There's something I'm so energized about being able to do this. The videos we do on YouTube over on the United by Trucks channel, they're always fun too. And I think we always get great feedback from doing stuff together. But I feel like they're so mission oriented. Like we got this objective to achieve. We got to do it in this amount of time. You know, we get everybody, and there's still a little bit of fun. But like with this, I feel like more of our personalities get to come out, and it just makes for a more fun time, in my opinion. Maybe not more fun, but a different kind of fun, you know?
Yeah.
And
we don't have to worry about getting dirty.
Yeah, man, we get clean.
We don't
Only
get
thing you
dirty.
got to worry about in here is we cut the air down, so you might get a little warm because it just has this hum and when it comes on. But if it gets too warm, we'll just cut it on, Sarah, because I ain't trying to roast up in here.
No, I think
I'm good right now.
You are right now. You may not be in about 30 minutes.
We'll cross that bridge.
Yeah, we'll cross it when we get there. But well, it is. There's been a lot going on over the last couple months. I've been messing around with an OBS. What you been working on, Alex?
I've been building a 68 C10 for a guy at the fire department. So we're doing a LS swap on it right now. He's been after me for forever to do it, and then I was like, all right, man, bring it down. Let's get going on it. So just running, driving, 503 light green short bed truck.
Oh, is this the one you're doing?
Yeah, the one I sent you a picture of.
Yeah, getting the UBT cam, the tick cam?
Yes, it's got the UBT tick cam in it, LQ9, 4L60. It's going to be a good little cruiser.
Yeah. What was in it before?
6-cylinder and 3-speed.
Oh, yeah. So he's going from absolutely sort of here to another point.
Yeah.
Dang, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting it finished up. So
is what's the suspension and wheels and tires and stuff on it?
I think it has a 2.4 on it now that he did a long time ago. But I'm getting doing a disc brake conversion on the front, putting power brakes on it, putting a new column in it.
Dang.
Boyd tank. We got that done last week. Boyd tank's in. He's thinking about some 20-inch steel wheels. Yeah. It's got 17s on it now, and he's like, what do you think about the 20s? I was like, man, it'd bring it all together.
Sure would, for sure. Of course, 17s, they're 17-inch Steelies?
Yes.
Yeah, that's still not bad.
Yeah. The truck's got the look.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really good.
The only downfall is a 2.4. You know what they say about a 2.4 drop?
What do they say about a 2.4?
2.4 make you want more.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. 4.6 and 5.7 make you want bags or coilovers.
5.7 is where it's at.
It is. That's a nice drop on, especially on a 6772. Well, I guess square body too. Do you know, is the truck a local truck? Like, truck's been in his family? Or?
It was his dad. So
oh, man.
His dad is no longer with us, but left it to him. So it's been his family probably since late 80s, early 90s.
Dang.
And he's done some stuff. Like, of course he lowered it and, kept it up real nice. He was just like, man, I just want to do something different. It doesn't stop good. It doesn't crank cold good. And I was like, well, I know how we can fix that.
I mean, 100%. Like, if you want that reliable, consistent, I'm all for any good drivetrain. But there is something about the LS, like we talk about all the time. I mean, they're consistent, reliable. You tune them, which you do. And if you guys don't know, if you guys don't recognize the voice or recognize the face on the other end of this mic and camera right now, you're hearing from Alex Walker Performance Tuning. Obviously, Ron, TTR is in the room. And you can make them run right, man. That's made Teddy run right.
That's my goal. My goal is drivability.
Yeah.
And, we always do a wide open throttle pull at the end to make sure, everything looks good.
Yeah.
It's going to be safe to do that with. So.
Well, I've been you have tuned Teddy for me multiple times. And then most recently after we did the cam and converter, and that thing every single time acts the exact same way.
That's good.
And just gets 20 miles a gallon, 20 miles a gallon, and sounds great, I think.
He does sound good.
It just romps for what it is.
Oh, yeah.
A little Gen 353 with a cam and converter. It's just crazy. I mean, same thing with Pecos when you did all that. I mean, just a killer little package. It doesn't take a whole lot.
We were at dinner last night, and that's what I was telling. I was hoping to hit that $1.7 billion. I was gonna make an offer to buy Pecos back.
So we drove by. So what was it? Powerball?
Yeah,
that was 1.7. Yeah. We drove by a sign on the way back from Rome today, and Sarah was like, "God, that's like what was the amount?
Like 30-something million. Right?
30-something million? No, I think it was 130 million."
Okay,
and I said, "Honey, there was like a $1.7 billion deal or something the other night. I mean, could you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what we can do with some trucks and shops and equipment with that kind of money. You could do it all and do it again.
We were just going to build a compound. We'd already talked about it.
I might have to move to Gainesville for that. Move to Hall County.
But we had joked around about it too. Like, even if we had 1.7 billion, like, you're still gonna see through the floorboards on the trucks we buy.
Oh man!
Like it ain't like we're gonna go spend money on goods that like we're still getting rusty.
There's no more when you go to check out. You go to check out a truck and you're like, "Ooh, this thing's a little rougher than I thought it was gonna be."
Yeah,
you still buy it.
Yeah, then you're like, "Well, I got to worry about that. I got the resources to get this fixed."
Yeah.
No, I'm still driving rusty.
Man, it is. It's the ugly duckling syndrome. You got to, or at least with me, I think about this even with that OBS out there. I'm like, I'll say this. I buy trucks at the level that I can afford at the time. I'm
same.
I try to, I've learned a lot of lessons over the years. And, I'm not always trying to buy a Teddy where it's like every single, problem area has a hole in it, But I got a truck that doesn't have rust. I got a truck that doesn't have, or that has a title, which, in Georgia, that's not as big a deal. But I kind of try to learn a little bit of something off of every one I buy, and then, or at least recognize, man, that's going to be a problem if I buy this truck and we start to build it. But a little rust ain't don't hurt nobody.
You think that's how women like look at dudes?
Analyze men.
Men.
I don't know, Sarah. What you think? She's like, I'm not weighing in on
like
this.
He's a little rusty, but it's reliable.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He's better.
He's reliable.
He's better than the last.
Yeah, exactly.
He's better than the last.
I don't know about that truck. This is better than the last one.
That's right. Yeah, I recently bought a OBS that I didn't even really show anybody. I thought I was going to build it. It was an extended cab. And I thought it was that indigo metallic, that blue, that really dark navy for the OBSs. I mean, it looks a lot like the blue on the square body too. But when I got there to look at it, somebody had repainted this thing. And I didn't know this at the time, but I did realize that it had a purple shade to it somehow. And I didn't know how. And I sent the picture to Zach, and he's like, dude, that's got purple in the clear. So the truck had been painted back, a terrible paint job, been painted back indigo blue metallic, but they had put some purple in the clear where it would flip-flop from that blue to purple. And it was a good low-mileage truck. It was manual. I bought it anyway, and then I got it home and let Zach do his magic on it. He made it look better, but I ended up selling the truck. And I was just like, man, I can't live with this. But then I buy the Steely Dan, what I'm calling Steely Dan, this little silver OBS out there. And it's got a terrible paint job on it also, but it's the factory color.
Yeah.
And so it's like I can justify it because it gets closer to what my taste is, what my style is, and it not be some, something somebody's messed with and where you see it in a different shade of, light and it looks so different,
that's a deal breaker.
It is. I shouldn't have bought the truck, but I ended up making a little money on it, so it was fine. But, yeah, I think with everyone I mess with, you learn something, but there's still, like you said, there's those core tenets of like, especially on a 6772, if it's got 90% of its original paint or just even the look, that patina original color look and has rust down low, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll buy it.
Like Francis was 509 Terrace Blue.
Which everybody confuses that. So we should clear this up right now.
Yes.
The Barn Find truck was never my truck. That was your truck. It was not Teddy.
Yes. Correct.
A lot of people still confuse that truck and say, oh, man, they'll come up to me to the show and say, oh, man, I saw that truck when you pulled it out of the barn. I was like, that's not that same truck.
Yeah.
And I wrongly thought it was 503 light green standing in the barn. Did. I mean, it was covered in dust, so how would we really know?
Yeah,
what color was it?
509 Terrace Blue.
509 Terrace Blue.
Yeah,
super unique color.
I love that.
And
truck.
was a paint job from the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah, so not even original paint.
You know,
yeah.
we're talking to the gentleman we got it from,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah, Dad had it painted in the 70s, so, like, that's why that one bedside had that unique look to it, because it had delaminated or, you know, was starting to come off. But I liked it. You know,
it had the look.
Had the look.
100%. And the story was even better. Like the way, I mean, you hadn't been over there and seen the truck. You'd only seen it in an ad,
through
right?
Marketplace.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so when we went over there and walked in there, the place, I'm like, good Lord, man, this is like something right out of, you know, Barn Finds special
It's
or
like
something.
one of these once-in-a-lifetime deals.
I felt like it was.
Yeah. And, but no, it's just straight up Marketplace. And I call the number on the ad, and he's like, you're the first caller. And I'm like,
kidding.
Really? Okay.
You must have been minutes in.
It was like, I'm just sitting there scrolling on my phone. I wasn't even on Marketplace. You know how sometimes ads will pop up and show you stuff for sale, and I'm like, oh, look at this. Yeah, I wasn't even searching.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, oh, that's a good looking 67. You know, guy's phone number's at the bottom. I call him up, and he said, this is Larry, you know. And he's like, you're the first person that's called me, so I guess, you know, if you want to come look at it, you can buy it. So I said, well, what are you doing tomorrow? Because this was Monday, and I had the next day off. And he was like, we can get together tomorrow. You know, that'll be fine. I said, I'd like to come look at it and make you an offer on it.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll bring my trailer with me. We'll just load it up. And he said, you can come look Tuesday, but you're going to have to come back Saturday if you want to get it. And we didn't, you know, once we got there, realized how packed it was.
Yeah, I mean, that junker was tucked in there.
I'm pretty sure it was probably.
Was that why he didn't want you to come back? Because he needed to move some stuff out of the way?
Well, no, he wanted me to come and look first and then go back with my trailer. Yeah, so he was like, so we actually had came and looked.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, well, I'll see you Saturday. And I was like, I see why. You know?
Yeah.
So we finally, we went that Saturday with you and got it dug out.
Man.
So
Has that thing hit over 1 million views yet?
It hasn't. It's still
I know
like,
it's
I looked
close.
the other
It's
day. I do
close.
think about it from time to time. It's 900.
We'll joke around. We'll talk about it. And we keep a track every so often.
Yeah.
But it's like I hadn't looked at it in a while.
It's one of those. I don't ever care about that. But since there's one that's so close to 1 million, it's kind of like, and it's such a cool. I think it was like a pivotal, you know, moment in UBT history. Like I think it defined how, you know, the kind of things that we are all into as a group of guys who love trucks. You know, it just put this like, and honestly, like
if it
I haven't really run into that again. I mean, I'm not out searching for barn finds all the time, but that opportunity to go dig something out that's been sitting there with that kind of story in a barn like that, like I haven't had that opportunity again. You know,
I haven't either.
It's kind of one of those special things.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like if it had 30,000 views, like
I
I'd be
mean,
like whatever.
I'd still be happy with it because the experience that we had doing that was.
But when you hit over 900,000, you're like, all right, now let's.
Yeah.
Now I want to see the.
I want to see the
I want to see the digit.
For sure. Yeah. So if you haven't seen the barn find, the '67 GMC barn find video on the United by Trucks YouTube channel, go check it out. It's probably, when was that?
2019.
2019.
Yep.
So that was literally, we started the channel in November 28 of 18. Mm-hmm. So that was within the first full year.
And if you have seen it, go watch
it again from a different IP address, maybe. So it'll count as a view.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was really a lot of fun, and that truck was not Teddy. I want to set that record straight. Now that was an Ocean 509. You said Ocean Turquoise?
Terrace Blue.
Oh, Ocean Turquoise is Davo's 65. 509 Terrace Blue.
Yep.
What a cool.
She's
cool
still
truck.
around.
Yeah. Is it still in Kentucky or is it somewhere else?
It is still in Kentucky.
Okay. Yeah.
So the guys that I originally sold it to bought it back.
Oh, no kidding.
I have it now.
Yeah. What all did you do to that truck before you sold it though? Because it was pretty extensive.
We did a 5.5 drop on it.
Yeah. And that's a leaf spring truck, right?
That was a leaf spring truck.
So it was leaf springs in the back.
Yep. We did a notch in the back. I put nitro drops on it.
Yeah.
And really just anything you can think of a truck sitting for that amount of time.
Yep.
You know, any hose, lines, tune up.
Yeah.
Just basic stuff.
New tires.
New tires, original wheels.
Yep.
Had to source some hubcaps.
Yeah, you did. The right ones too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones for a 67
I got
GMC.
lucky,
yeah.
And other than that, you know, nothing really. The fan motor still worked in it, had heat. Didn't have a radio, but I'd just take a Bluetooth speaker or
that's
whatever.
no big deal.
It was just it was so enjoyable just to see what it was that day we dug it out to, like right before that point where you sell it and you're like, okay, this is cool, and it's just bare bones.
Yep.
Nothing's gonna break. Stuff's gonna break, but
you
don't have a
not destructive, or catastrophic, I should say.
I can get home.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So it was such a cool experience, and having that Bobcat in there and us climbing all over that thing, chaining it up, putting cameras on it.
If he didn't have that, we would have been in trouble.
Dude, it'd have been a different game.
Yeah,
we would have had a lot more struggle getting that thing out of there.
We road tripped that thing to SETM with Pecos.
Yeah. Yes.
Me and Alex did. It was that was cool.
That was hot.
Well, so it was straight 6,
3-speed on the column.
3-speed on the column. Did it have a highway gear in it, or was it geared pretty low? How'd it do on the interstate?
It revved up pretty high, so I think it was at least a 373 or 355 maybe.
So that joker was turning some RPMs.
It was. I just wound it out. I was like, hey.
Those straight 6s can take a good bit.
They can.
Yeah.
They can.
Man, that one you had in that little forest truck that we...
Dude, that thing's probably still running.
We ran down 285 with that thing just...
Yeah. 3,500 RPMs. I mean, it's 65.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't.
They just sit there and take
it, man. It's crazy. I mean, it is crazy what they can do.
That truck was crazy.
Yeah. I wish it had been more solid. I mean, that's what ultimately became Teddy. We're building that. We're going to build that truck the same, a similar kind of way. I was doing the utility boxes on it. But, man, when we started tearing that cab apart, I could put my hands through holes under the gas tank where, at the time, I just looked, frame rail out to rocker. I wasn't looking all the way under the floor pan, man. And we started tearing that thing apart and pulled the gas tank out, and dude, it's just holes under that thing. I guess where the gas tank maybe had a leak or something. And I was like, and the truck wasn't original paint. It had been painted before. It had the look, but it wasn't, wasn't that cool. Or it could have been better. And so we ended up just scrapping the cab because once we got, I think you probably came and saw it because I think it was in my garage sitting on a makeshift trailer and it was trying to fold in on itself because the floor was so bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was destroyed just from trying to, the rockers were starting to crumple in, and I knew the rockers were bad, but the floor had no more structure either, apparently. What's crazy is I drove that thing 3 hours back in the dark from South Carolina.
we drove it to Caffeine and Octane that one
morning. Yeah, that's right. I think it might have been the next morning, or I think I got it on a Friday, and then on Sunday we drove it to Caffeine and Octane. I forgot about that.
We were just humming in that thing.
Yeah.
Like...
Yes. And it still had the exhaust that came up by the it came up on the B pillar right by my head. And I remember my ear rang for a week after that. And I remember I changed the exhaust immediately on it and ran it out where I didn't have to have it like that. Yeah, that truck was cool. I still want to build something like that. I've got some utility boxes that I bought for Teddy, and that's why I bought the step-side bed, was I was going to run the utility boxes and go back to a better version of that truck that I ended up getting out of South Carolina. But now I just like the step-side bed so much.
It does look good.
I like it. I really do like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe build another truck or something. We'll see.
I mean, everybody needs an excuse to build another truck.
I don't. Sarah's over here like, yeah. Sarah's like, does he need another excuse? Does he need any excuse or any truck at all? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Sarah's thinking, she's like, if he wants to build another truck, he may have to go back to work.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, this self-employment life does a little different than that corporate money on building trucks. But man, I'm having a lot more fun. I can tell you that. A lot more fun. And this is one of the reasons why, man. I can't overstate how fun it is to just sit here and, shoot the mess and talk about, whatever we want to talk about. One thing I do want to talk about, Ron, and I know a lot of people who are probably listening to this want to talk about it too, or at least hear about it, because I've gotten a million messages. Alex, I know you have too, and there's a whole, component of you being, a part of the story, and I'm so thankful you were. But there've been a lot of folks wondering about you, Ron. A lot of folks. And I'm happy to say that you seem to be doing good, and I'm glad you're here. You seem like you're yourself, and that is good. I know you're dealing with things, probably privately, and that have made life a little different, but it is cool to see you, have that same sense of humor that you had before your accident. And I'm just glad you're here and all good and breathing and smiling and laughing and all that.
Man, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
It's it changes some things for you in life, that's for sure.
Yeah. As much as you want to talk about it, or as many details as you want to share, I want to say that I brought this up to you about talking about this topic, but I did so in a way where this is not I'm not trying to market your story in some way that is that's not, I don't know. I want this to be authentic, and I want this to be like, for basically people to understand a little more about what happened to you. Hopefully it might help them. But this is, I'm not, I didn't want to do this to get views or anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of people that genuinely care about you, and I felt like this would be, we talked about it, and we felt like this would be a good way to put the facts out there for a lot of folks at one time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So do you mind sharing, what happened to you? How long has it been now?
So it happened like June
17th.
17th, something like that.
Over 2 months ago.
Yeah.
No, almost 2 months. No, June, July, August. Oh yeah, over 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened to you?
I had gotten to the point, like I had my single cab Duramax.
Yep.
So we're gonna back up a little bit past the accident, but I'd had my single cab Duramax, and I still been building Winston, and I've made some killer progress on that.
Yeah,
truck.
Winston is the 69. No, is it 69
It's
or
a 70.
70 GMC.
Yeah.
Blue, dope, full trim, short bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd gotten all the TenWorks rear stuff in it. Started fitting slosh tubs in it. Like we'd make good progress. And I knew I was gonna have to put some money into the Duramax.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I'm gonna have to either every dime I put into the Duramax is one less dime for the GMC.
Yeah.
So I had sold it, and I went in for C10s in the city. I'd actually rented. Amanda's car was in the shop. I paid the extra money of Enterprise to rent a Chevrolet.
Yeah.
Drove it for a week. Hated it.
Yeah.
I work at a GM dealership, and I hated owning it. I hated life with it.
Yeah.
So I was kind of in the mood, like I was in the market for a truck. Well, I went and drove this F-150.
Yeah.
It's just an extended cab, 2-wheel drive,
Yeah.
5.0, 10-speed. Loved the way it drove.
Yeah. 10 speeds are way to go. Man.
Yeah, price was right. That deal. And I couldn't leave nothing alone.
Yeah.
Just can't leave it alone.
Yeah. I mean, you're a truck guy, you're a car guy. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. You're gonna have to tinker with it.
So I decided that I wanted to put. I still wanted to be able to tow with it, do whatever, tow what we tow. I mean, not like we're towing, crazy, but so I'd ordered drop shackles for it.
Yeah.
In my driveway, I had jack stands. We've all done it 100 times. And
Do you mind me asking? Because people are gonna want to know. How did you have it jacked up? Like what? I mean, I know, but
so I'd had it jacked up, and I had the jack under the rear end of the truck.
Yeah. Under the axle.
Under the axle, and I had the jack stands under the frame rails.
Yep. Forward of the axle.
Forward of that.
Just what everybody would do.
Just like we always do.
Just like I did the other day.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy how many people reached out and were like, "Man, I just was messing with my truck the other day, blah, blah, blah." And I'm
when
like,
this happened to you, the day it happened, I was under this truck in this shop by myself late at night. Nobody was here. I know this happened to you earlier in the night or earlier in the day.
Yeah.
But nobody was here. And I was, I mean, we all do it all the time. That's what's so crazy about this story.
So I was in the driveway because I still have, I have truck in the shop, and the other side of the shop had some other stuff, and we'd been moving some stuff around. So I just did it in the driveway.
And this is at home. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, I'd had the wheels off of it, and was just wanting to. The next plan was I was gonna because it's white, I was gonna spray the inside of the bed.
Yeah.
The wheel wells in the bed.
Yep.
Clean it up a little bit, and it was just regular Saturday afternoon. I'd gotten the driver's side done. I was on the passenger side, and there was just the one last bolt was just kind of fighting me. So I went inside and I went and grabbed Amanda, and I said, hey, like you said,
Yeah.
I was out there by myself the whole
yeah.
day. I went inside and grabbed Amanda. I said, hey, can you just help me out for a second?
Yeah.
You know, like, and so she came out there, and where the bed is, I was sitting on the passenger side behind the axle, but I was actually like in between like the bed, like the bumper. I was up in it.
Yeah, yeah. And you're sitting on your bottom.
I was sitting on my bottom. My
Got
left
your
leg,
legs?
My left leg was straight, and my right leg was. So I was like a 4.
Okay. Yeah. So which makes sense.
Yeah. So
I had in my mind that you had, like crisscross applesauce kind of thing, but
No, it's just-
either way, it's the same difference.
I mean, I was so relaxed about it all. Like,
Yeah.
I was in
Done it
Crocs.
100 times,
I was in work shorts, Crocs, whatever, and
Crocs and socks, baby.
yeah. So she came out there, whatever. I don't think she was out there 3 minutes, and I was just trying to get it in the spot where it needed to be,
And you're trying to put the bolt back in.
trying to slide the bolt back in.
like where the leaf spring, or no, it'd be up on where the shackle goes into the part of the hanger. Is that right?
No, so I'd gotten the one in the leaf spring. I'd gotten in. I
Yeah.
was trying to get it into the hanger.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So I mean, I was just in there. I had a lady finger on one side.
Yep.
And I was just trying to get the bolt in, and it was just next thing you know, man, it just bam right across the back of my neck and on my back, and I remember it hit me, and I got folded over, and I actually chipped one of my teeth.
Yeah.
Like I hit my knee, and it just bam. But I remember
So your head went down on the leg
Yeah,
that was
I
stuck
just-
straight out.
No, on my kneecap.
Oh, on
that
your
was
kneecap.
like folded
Okay.
over.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I went.
So you didn't hit your face on the concrete. You hit your face on your leg.
Yeah, my own knee.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I remember I reached back and I grabbed the jack handle, thinking like maybe
I gotta
it
get
slid,
it off of me. Yeah, yeah.
something, whatever. And I think I made maybe like 3 pumps on the jack, and I just went to sleep.
God, it's crazy you were even able to do that.
Yeah, and it was a crazy feeling. It's like that, people talk about like fight or flight thing, and
Yeah.
like there was just instinct to just grab it, but I only got like 3 pumps and night.
Yeah. I mean, part of that's adrenaline too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in, freak out mode.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what happened after that. But later on, Amanda told me she got me out.
Yeah.
And
Because where were you when you came to?
so I was laid out in the driveway when I came to.
And you went out under the truck, buckled over,
Yeah.
and then you came to
I was on my back.
on your back.
And there was a police officer above me, and I'm guessing he had done a sternum rub. And like he was standing above me, and the worst part of the whole deal is he was standing over me, and he was like, "What's your name?"
Yeah.
And I'm like I said, man, I got about 3 brain cells. I know.
I said that off camera a minute ago.
I know that answer.
Yeah,
Okay. Not to make fun of the cop or give him a hard time, but it's like you should have gave me multiple choice.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, or 3.
Ron,
man.
Ronald,
Yeah, like
Jerry.
he could have said anything. I'd have been like,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's my name.
and but so after talking to the doctors and everything, I guess when it came down, when the pressure came down on me, it blew my rib cage out.
Man.
So like it just, your ribs are like this, and it just blew them out.
Man.
Boom. And so I couldn't breathe, man. He was asking, "What's your name? Where you at? Do you know what day it is?" And I'm like deer in headlights, just
Yeah.
like I can't. I know the answer. I can't get it out. And the next thing you know, man, I finally get my breath back, and I remember I told Amanda, I'm like, "Call Alex."
Yeah.
And she gives me crap. Even
Well,
Emily,
so had you just been there, Alex? I do know some of the story.
I was there, so he needed the engine hoist. He's gonna sit the LS down in the 70.
Yeah. Yes.
And I was like, all right, man, well, I'll come by and bring you this engine hoist or whatever. And
Yeah.
I had went by, he's out there. I saw the F-150 in the air already.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? He's like, putting my drop shackles
Yeah.
on.
Nothing looked off to you.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it
you
was
know
like-
just as good as anybody else in
No,
here.
it looked like a Saturday.
Yeah,
You know? And we're
Totally.
like- and we hung out for a minute, and I talked to him and dropped the hoist off, and then I was like, all right, man, well, I had to go to my in-laws
Yeah.
for dinner. And so I left. We stayed in touch, and then that's when
Yeah, you
everything
get this
broke
call.
loose.
Yeah.
I got that call. So
Yeah.
Emily was in the backyard, and I was inside of the house we were at.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she comes running in. She said, "Get in the car and go to Ron's right now. Truck fell on him."
Oh, jeez.
So that
Yeah.
was a rude awakening. You know, it's just like,
especially after you've just been there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, and it's crazy. Amanda and Emily give me crap about it, but in my head, my train of thought was Alex. For people that don't know, Alex is a firefighter.
Oh yeah,
like
he first responder. I mean, you're a aren't you? You got EMT,
intermediate.
So you got some skills.
He sees stuff like this.
Yes.
He deals with, like, if Alex would have got on the phone and been like, "Man, it sounds like you're gonna be okay. Get your tail up and walk it off." I'd been like, "All right, let's walk it off." You're like,
I wouldn't have done that.
No,
like,
this was not that kind of situation.
Like, I just wanted Alex to be like, "Hey, man,
this is in your
this is like a quick care thing. Just go to the quick care. You're gonna be all right." You know, and it wasn't even close to that. Next thing you know, here comes just paramedics up the driveway. You know, I mean, firefighters show up. I mean, they have all kinds of gear. They got turnout gear on. They've got bags of stuff. They've got equipment with them, and I'm just like,
well, it's a serious thing. I mean, it's a serious situation. Do you know if did the bumper was the bumper at play on the truck at all? Like, what part of the truck that
the bumper, like, I probably had a cut like that big on the back of my neck and shoulder.
Yeah,
I mean, it came straight across and like cut me.
And that's what really pushed you down, like that part of it, because that's what I kept visualizing is like, you know, trying to figure out what part of the truck really put its weight on you, kind of thing. That's so wild. The thing that I think about a lot, and we've just hinted on it and talked about it, but is how easily that happened. I mean, you know, you had it jacked up the right way, you had the jack stands in the right place. It's like Rick said, Ron is the last person in the world I ever would have thought something like that would happen to. Because I mean, you've literally, I mean, even before I knew you were doing this. You were messing with cars and trucks
every day.
Every day, yeah. You're a shop foreman. Like, you understand safety. I mean, you're a wild man. Let's nobody excuse that, but you're not throwing safety out the window. You know what I mean? It's like you're not trying to get hurt with your passion.
And the one thing that people kept saying, people were like, "That's why you don't use Harbor Freight jack stands." I'm like, I didn't even have Harbor Freight jack stands. I had like good ones that I've had for years and I trusted. You know, and I don't know if it just came the right way or what, but the paramedics had showed up and you know, he was like, "Hey man, you know, we'll get you in here." They had put me in a C-collar and put me on a backboard and were asking me questions, and man, it's probably the most nervous I've ever been in my life. But I'll tell you right now, man, like, I'll probably talk crap till the day I die. They put me in that ambulance and I was in a work t-shirt, work shorts, and we pay for our uniforms. Yeah. And he started cutting my shorts. I looked at that. Looked at that paramedic. I said, "They're going to charge me for that."
Still got that sense of humor in play.
On a backboard, can't move, and he's worried about his shorts.
Crisis of his life. He's worried about that $37 or whatever.
Man, those are centavos. Be careful.
Oh,
exactly,
sorry.
Exactly. I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm going to get billed for that." You know, kind of thing. And then I'm like, I'm pretty afraid of narcotics. Like, I just don't like taking pain medicine, all this other stuff. And he's like, "You know, I'm going to give you some of this." And I'm like, "Man, don't." Yeah. And he's like, "Dude, you just got pulled out from underneath a truck. Like, let's take the edge off a little bit." And I was like, "Nah, man."
Were you in a lot of pain? Do you think you were in shock?
I wasn't in pain until I got into the hospital a little bit because I think there was still so much adrenaline. Yeah. That I wasn't really in pain. And pain is different for me. Like, I broke my shoulder riding dirt bikes. Yep. Rode back home. Yeah. You know, drove back home kind of thing. I've broken my nose, reset it myself. You know, man. Like, it's
See, I'd be like, "Honey, come get me."
Yeah, like,
I can't drive. My nose is broke.
So I broke my nose playing men's softball, and Amanda's like, "You need to go to the doctor." She's like, "I'll meet you at the hospital. You need to go to the doctor because I want to make sure there's nothing in your nasal cavity." Yeah. I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll meet you there. What time?" She's like, "I'll be there in like 20 minutes. Like, "All right, guys, I got to go to the doctor. You know, Amanda wants me to meet there." So we get there, and the doctor's like, "So what'd you do after you broke your nose?" And I was like, "Oh, I popped it back." I was like, "We had a couple beers. joking around about it, and then I came to the hospital.
Yeah.
And he was
I
like,
love a couple of beers.
We did.
Couple.
We did. It's men's softball league. If
The
you've ever played
couple's
men's
not
softball league,
right.
if you've ever had men's softball league or hung out, like it's just that's what it is. And so, but anyways, yeah. So pain is kind of different. But I asked the number one thing. I asked the paramedic. I said, "All right, do you have to like put anything in my throat?" He's like, "Man, if you keep talking to me, he's like, you're gonna be fine."
You say I got no problem
I
talking.
said, "Nah, man, we're good here.
I'm awake.
I got
talk.
that covered." He's
Yeah.
like, "Now wiggle your toes for me." And I said, "Okay." I could wiggle my toes, but I couldn't push. He was like,
when you first woke up, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm trying to, selfishly, I want to know this, but I also, as much as you will let me, I want to paint a picture for folks to understand like the gravity of the situation. When you woke up in the driveway, did you know a truck just fell on me? And did you think I might not be able to wiggle my toes?
So, yeah, the thought runs through your mind. Like, it ran through my mind, like, you know, when I walked out here and sat under this truck, like, is that the last time I'm going to walk?
Yeah.
You know, what's my life going to be after this? Like, it runs through your mind.
Yeah.
You know, getting into the ambulance and going in there and going into the hospital, they were calling it in over the radio, and the paramedic was telling me, he's like, you know, we're taking you as a trauma, like you're going.
Yeah.
Because he even told me, he said, listen, when we back up to the door up here, he said it's gonna get nuts in here.
Yeah.
He said everybody in
They're
here,
gonna be on you.
they know. He's like, we called it in as a trauma, like it's gonna happen in here. And he said they're gonna ask you 101 questions. They're gonna touch you everywhere.
Yeah.
And he said they're gonna move you off this board. And he said it's gonna hurt like it.
Yeah.
And I said, okay.
Yeah.
Like, the guy was super cool.
At least they give you that kind of information.
I think Alex knew the guy.
Yeah.
I knew all the people that were at the call.
Yeah.
Which gives, I mean, not that it matters how I feel about it, but it gives me so much comfort. I mean, obviously it did you. It's the first call you said to make was to Alex.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that just.
I think it's that level of trust, though. Like, if Alex had been like,
100%.
hey, man, you need to go, like, it was, because he just knows about it. When you know, when your specialty is something.
Yep.
And
he's one of your best friends. Like, y'all know each other so well, you know.
You know, you just, there's that trust there. And I just wanted somebody to tell me, like, it's going to be okay.
Well, it's also great that, like, you knew the guys. Like, if there's anything you needed to back channel or say, like, hey, this is this, you know, X, Y, Z. I was here earlier. It was this way. Whatever the information is. Like, you had a specific insight, you know, to all this, Alex.
It's just that level of trust there. You know, it's like Alex knows about this. Like, if he says this how it's going to be, this how it's going to be. So
I want to get to how it kind of went down in the hospital a little bit. But did you, Alex, get there before they took him away?
They were backing out with him when I got there. So the road was shut down because they sent an engine, the heavy rescue, and the ambulance. And, you know, like battalion chief, it's like, you know, when something like this comes out, they send more than they need. And so I'd pull up, the road shut down. I've got flip flops on, and I'm just running. And they're like, hey man, you know what's going on? I was like, that's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
I got to see if he's okay. Yep. So like, I get to his driveway, the ambulance is backing out, and you know, they had left. I was like, is he stable? And they're like, he's good. Yeah. He's going to be fine. You know, he's hurt, but
he's
awake. He's talking he's awake. He's talking. And I'm like, okay. So then we had, I'd made it up the driveway and saw Amanda and the girls, you know, and they're obviously upset.
Oh, yeah.
And I just kind of went around the corner to see what, you know, how did this happen?
Yeah.
You know, and then just trucks just sitting there, you know,
looking
on the rear
like, end. So jack stand's still in place?
No, they had. It slid off. The jack
that's
stands.
what. Okay, yeah. Okay, man.
Luckily, my kids were inside.
Oh yes, 100%. I mean, that's what Sarah and I talked about. Like, good Lord, because I knew. I think from you. I think Alex, you texted us, or maybe you called me at some point. I can't remember if it was later that night or the next morning.
Yeah, I think it was like me, you, and Rick.
Yeah,
had all talked.
Yes, I think that's what it was. But. So I knew that Amanda was out there with you, which is an extra special level of, you know, awfulness, but thankfulness at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, because how long could you have laid out there, or, you know, if she hadn't been? but that's what I was, talked to Sarah about. It's just like, my gosh, I'm glad them girls weren't out there. But then still, that they're experience their dad having an accident like that.
Yeah.
Doing something that he does all the time.
Yeah.
That's the part that makes it so hard to even understand. But these kind of accidents do happen, and we do hear about them periodically. And I mean, I feel comfortable saying this because I said it to you. We've talked about this on the phone, but like, I honestly think you're lucky to be here.
Yeah.
I think that you should thank God that you are here. I'm thanking God you are here. I know Alex has.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't always turn out that way for people. And since you've had this accident, I've had so many people come to me and tell me about people that they know that it did not fare as well. Not that you had, you didn't go through something traumatic and that you don't have some, probably lifelong things you're going to be dealing with from it. But you can walk, you can wiggle your toes, you can sit here, and you do have that sense of humor that, that you've always had. And we always, one of the main things we love about you. But it is crazy to hear about those who weren't so lucky, Alex, real quick before, because like I said, I do want to jump in kind of some of the hospital stuff. Being a fireman, a paramedic, have you run into this before? Automotive accidents, like not automotive, but these types of garage accidents or shop accidents.
So I mean, I'm coming up on 16 years of doing this, and I personally have not ran a car on top of somebody.
Yeah.
Not maybe in a wreck or something.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Like somebody wrenching. No. But probably 2 or 3 weeks prior to his, you're in the station, you're waiting to be dispatched to something, but the radio is on and you can hear where everybody else is going.
Yep.
And a couple of weeks before his, I had heard one come out and same situation.
Man.
But he didn't make it.
Yeah. Wow. That certainly seems, unfortunately, to be the more common thing than what we hear about in your incident, Ron, or your instance. You get to the hospital and everybody, I assume, just like this paramedic or fireman tells you when you get there, the guy in the ambulance, they all rush you. What do you remember about all that?
Man, I'll tell you, the number one thing I remember is there's people everywhere.
Yeah.
But there was one woman in there, and I cannot remember her name for nothing, but her voice sounded like an angel.
Yeah.
Like she always stood on my right side up by my head, and everything that was going on, like she just walk through it, talk you through it.
Yeah.
They're going to do this person's about to do that, and then another person would come up, and she's like this and that, whatever, and it was just like, it was like one of the most soothing voices I'd ever heard, and it's very weird.
Yeah.
But it was just, her voice was very soothing. She was super polite, and all these people are just, and I'm naked as the day I was born, and
they done cut all that money off of you.
Yeah, like they,
all the money in that uniform.
And so, I mean, I didn't even have socks on.
Yeah.
And these people are just, can you feel this? Are you touching this? Do this. And the worst part was I could still wiggle my toes, but I couldn't put pressure because they were like push against my hand, and I couldn't move like my foot that way. And I thought, man, I'm screwed. This is it. Like I can wiggle my toes, but I can't.
Yeah,
where's everything else at? Like, what am I going to do now?
Yep.
So these people all get everything done, and they run me through I do CT scans and full body scans, and, they're doing x-rays, and they're checking my vision and wondering if I got a concussion out of the deal. And
did you get a concussion?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's so wild to think about. But I think probably because it was more focused on your chin, or down here instead of up here kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my layman rationalization of it.
I think you're right about that. So they go through all that, and the next people who come in the room are Alex and my dad. And I didn't even know that Amanda had called my parents. And so my dad and Alex came in there, and just the look on my dad's face, I knew it was serious.
Yeah.
That's probably what hit me the worst, is just him. I knew it was serious. Alex has got a stone cold face. Like, he just.
Well, and you're also calming the storm.
Yeah.
I mean, you are around things that aren't pleasant with your
You know.
day job. And
Like in the hospital, Alex is, he had on his like medic, like poker face. Like,
Yeah.
he probably knew what was going on, and
Yeah.
but you couldn't tell on his face.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. Dad's face, I could tell.
Yeah. Well, he's worried about his son. you
Yeah.
know?
So they're there talking to me. Dad's like, you need anything? And Alex is like, yeah, you need anything? And I'm like, show me how they take this dang seat collar off. And
Yeah.
Alex is like, no,
that ain't
no, bro.
not
Like,
happening,
I
dude.
meant like, do you need anything else? You
Like,
know?
Don't forget to tell Robbie about the socks.
Yeah.
He was like, I just want some socks, man.
Yeah.
Your feet cold?
Yeah, dude. So I can't stand it. Like in my own house, we have hardwood floors to our house, but I wear socks and Crocs in my own house. Like I
didn't know this about you.
I can't stand my feet just being out.
Yeah. You've always got
know.
your. I mean, I guess I have noticed, like when we travel, you do always have socks on at least.
So I will pack more socks than I will t-shirts and shorts. Like if we're going on a 5-day trip, I'm probably packing 10 pairs of socks.
2 a day.
Like the military would love me. Like I keep my feet dry and I keep my socks changed. Like they would. That's what the guy at work Darwin
So
told me.
man just needed some socks up in the hospital.
He did. I said, well, what do you need, Ron? He said, some socks would be nice.
That's what the guy I work with, Darwin. He's cool, and he was in the Army, and that's what we were talking about the sock thing. He goes, yeah, man. He goes, military would love you, man. He's like, keep your feet dry, keep your socks changed. He's like, you got it made.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
awesome.
I said, yeah, that's me, man.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool, man. So then my mom and Amanda come in there, and my mom, she obviously.
So your mom got me tore up on Facebook.
Yeah.
She was, and she wasn't even being specific about things, but I obviously knew what she was talking about because I'd already heard from Alex, and so she was obviously asking for prayers. But you could tell it was very. She was rightfully very concerned.
Yeah, she was. So her and Amanda came in. I really wanted socks, and Amanda went and got me socks, and Mom's like, do you want a gown or anything else? I said, no, I don't care. And all I had was like through my center section, they had laid a blanket across me.
Oh, so you had no gown on or
No, I
nothing
was
like
still,
that?
I mean,
You're
I
just
was
laying on a what do you call it? Just like a
He's
hospital bed.
He's on a trauma table.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's on a stainless steel trauma
Oh,
table.
man.
Yeah. And like
sea collar.
completely immobilized.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, when they gonna take this stuff off? I said, I know you're
gotta,
uncomfortable, dude, but they gotta do scans and x-rays and everything to make sure they can take you off of that so they don't further injure him.
Yeah. Totally.
So.
And he's just laying on a stainless steel table.
Yeah. With a blanket covering, from the belt line to the knees.
Man.
Yeah.
I bet you did want some socks.
Yeah.
I did. And my mom, that's what Mom said. Mom's like, do you want a gown or anything? I'm like, just give me some socks.
Yeah. I'll just need some
Right.
socks up in here.
I'm okay being naked.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I know I'm an old guy. Whatever.
I ain't got nothing to hide up in here.
Put some socks on me.
Except for my toes.
Yeah, just put some socks on me. Mom's like, talking about what happened. Her and Amanda are in tears, and I'm like, it's gonna be okay. Like,
Yeah.
like it's not a big deal kind of thing. And they're talking about what they're gonna do and where they're gonna move me at. And what's crazy is
This all within? Sorry to interrupt you. Is this all within the first couple of hours? Is this all within the first hour?
It's probably in the first half hour.
First half hour. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
because my house is what 10 minutes maybe
You're
from the
10
hospital.
minutes. I do want to correct myself though. You were in a hospital bed on a backboard. They just had it flat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked like a table.
So yeah, he's
It
just,
looked like
but
a
he's
table,
still
but he's
not comfortable,
No, I
not
couldn't
laying
move.
in a hospital bed like
Yeah.
a typical patient.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't move, couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
They wheeled me out, went and did full body scans and some x-rays and some other stuff, and still laying there. I mean, you're just looking at it and, everything from, like, the waist up. I mean, I could move, twist, do whatever. Waist down, I just
didn't quite have the strength.
It was very tingly. I could wiggle my toes, but like I said, I couldn't put pressure. Couldn't like gas pedal it.
Mm-hmm.
So they were still trying to figure out what they were gonna do.
What did they learn from the X-ray?
Am
I jumping ahead too far?
Yeah, the X-rays turned out to be okay. They finally they saw that I had a T11 T12 compression fracture.
Yeah.
So basically, it just
pushed them down.
Just pancaked it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just collapsed it all down. which is like if you go through where your belly button is, it's like just above that in your back. They were trying to decide that night. They finally got me up into a regular room about right around midnight-ish. They were trying to decide what they were going to do surgery-wise, if they were going to do the surgery or not. They finally got me out of the C-collar. I was trying to get comfortable, and in the bed, I was trying to go to sleep. I was starving because I'd eaten like a slice of pizza for lunch kind of thing, and I was starving, and they were like, well, we can't let you eat because they're going to decide if they want to do surgery or not.
No.
Excuse me. I said, okay, fine, whatever. And the nurses were still like, do you want us to give you some pain medicine? And I was like, no, I don't want to take it. I just have this deep-seated fear that I'm going to become addicted.
That's a pretty good fear to have.
I know
it's a pretty good fear to have.
I know people are going to be like, that's dumb. But I really do.
And I don't care if they do.
And I told the medic that when he tried to give me the medicine in the ambulance, I told him, I said, man, I just have this in my mind that I'm just going to be.
If you can withstand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, all more power to you. I think it's the right fear to have.
They'd started a couple IVs to try to get me some fluid and keep me semi-happy. And the nurse was like, well, I'll bring you some ice chips. I'm like, nah, that ain't enough.
I need more than that.
I want like some beef jerky or something.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe that Whopper across the street.
Yeah,
you got any Jack Links up there?
Yeah. Like, I don't want no ice chips in here, man. Like, it's, So she's like, well, how about I go get you some ibuprofen? And I was like, fine, I'll take that.
Yeah,
whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
She's like, it'll help with the swelling. I said, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what do I know about this stuff?
So it's midnight. You're in a room. Are you still having the same immobility sort of things, like where you can't gas pedal, where you're tingling, or is that starting to come back? So when does that start to come back?
I was still really tingly, and it got to the point where I needed to go to the bathroom, and it's weird. Everybody's been in a hospital room. Like, the bed is here, and the bathroom is right there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, just go, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of when like fear set in, and I was like, they don't want me to get up and walk from here to there.
Yeah.
Like, does this mean
that's just normal every day? I could.
Yeah. Does this mean
I could do a cartwheel into that room normally?
Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, does this mean like I'm not gonna ever walk from here to there? Like, the longer that went on, the worse like it got in my mindset.
Yeah.
And then around about probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I was still awake, and I told Amanda, I was like, if they let me up, like, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, just let me, because you have to. It was in my mind that if I can just do one thing, if I can do this one thing, I can do everything else.
Yeah.
Just give me the chance to do that one thing.
Yeah. And
it changes in your mind. And you hear these people talk about these crazy stories about, like, they just had to make a choice in their mind. And I told them, I said, like,
let me just get my feet on the ground.
Let me do one thing.
Yeah.
Let me sit up. Let me put my feet down. I can get there.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want to be beat.
Yeah.
If you let me step, I promise you I'll make it there and I'll make it back, kind of thing. And they were like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Man.
So it went on and on.
I understand it, though.
Yeah.
But to you, laying there thinking, I know I can do it. Or at least let me try. Let me try.
Yeah, if I fall down in the floor, it is what it is. At least I can hang my hat on.
I tried.
Yeah. And so it went on for a little while, and they came in the next morning, and the doctors came in, and they were talking. And they said, we've looked at everything, T11, T12 compression, we think everything else is fine. Some of the swelling is still good. We can't tell if you have any cracked ribs.
That's another thing I was going to ask. Yeah. So you said your ribs separated, or it pushed them apart, or whatever the correct term is.
So I guess Alex would know more, but whatever the cartilage, I guess
the cartilage in between your ribs. But like when he got bent over the way that he did, like the force of it, that air's got to have somewhere to go.
Pushed.
So it just kind of,
yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they told me. It just blew my chest cavity out.
But I guess it ultimately came back.
But it was like being in like the worst fight ever. Like, it felt like I just had my butt kicked. Like, I'd just been pummeled.
Didn't you also, I think, Alex, you may have told me this, and I don't know if it was the pain you were having was from your chest being, pushed out like that, or it was from what's the sternum thing? A sternum check or whatever?
Sternum rub.
Sternum rub.
That hurt.
Is that what they did? They did one of
yeah.
those to him, trying to get you to wake up.
That hurts
in the driveway.
so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thankful the guy did it, but that hurt.
Do you think that's what woke you up?
Had to.
Yeah.
Had to.
Yeah.
And
so what is that for those who don't know, Alex? I know it's very simple, but
so when you're getting on scene and you're like trying to assess somebody's consciousness, that's you say, hey, are you with me? And you don't get a response. I mean, that's like the last thing you do to check somebody's consciousness. But if they're not moving and you see them breathing and they just won't wake up, you just take your knuckles and
just plant them
in their sternum.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And it's essentially the pain and pressure is what.
Yeah, it's just like you're looking for a response of some type to judge, this is the level that this person's at right now, conscious wise. It helps you figure out what kind of treatment you need to do.
Yeah.
Is this an overdose? Is it
Yes.
trauma?
Yes.
It's used for a lot of things.
Yeah. Wow. I remember Alex mentioning that to me, and then when I talked to you, I think the next day or day after, you mentioned that you thought that happened too.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, I never even heard of that.
I had like a big old bruise right here for a little bit. I mean, it was.
So the next morning,
yeah, they come in, they talk to me and everything, and I told them, I said, hey, I still would like to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like I can go over there. And
I love it. I can go over there.
I'm sure any man can attest to it, but the nurse looks at me and she goes, "Oh, you need to potty?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes, ma'am."
Yeah.
She's like, "Okay, I'll be right back with a catheter."
Oh.
I looked that woman dead in the face. I swear to you, I can go to that bathroom.
Please just let me try before you try that.
I can crawl to that bathroom.
Yes.
Like, that's a no for me kind of thing. And so, it was finally, they worked it out, and Amanda's like, no, we can do this, we can do that. And so finally they got all that situated, no cath, which I was.
I mean, you just weren't going to let that happen.
Yeah, I was like, thank you, Jesus, kind of thing.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah.
So, they went on with that, and they told me, they said, hey, listen, you're going to be okay. So Alex and Emily, and I said, can I eat? I'm starving. If you're not going to take me down for surgery, if we think that, she said, we think that if you just wear this back brace, she said, you're in really good shape.
And not just like a support brace, like a,
dude, it's like a turtle shell.
Yeah, and it was, like, is it neck down or is it under your arms?
Oh, it goes up my whole back, and it has like a chest harness, goes down, goes around my waist. Like, I call it my turtle shell because the whole back of it is hard, and like it was. She's like, we're gonna put you in this. She's like, we think that the fractures are easily small enough that they'll correct themselves.
Yeah.
And she's like, there's no misalignment in your spine or whatever. I said, okay, fine, whatever. She's like, so the lady will come up, she'll help you, show you how to put the thing on and all that other stuff. And she goes, we'll get you up and see if you can walk. And I said, all right.
I'm ready for this.
So
it's what I've been waiting for.
Alex and Emily are on the way, and I said, but I can eat, right? And so they're coming back the next day, and I told Emily, I said, I'm starving. She's like, what do you want, kind of thing. I said, man, I'd love to have some McDonald's fries.
Yeah.
So Alex,
Mickey D's will take care of it all.
McDonald's, man.
Yeah. So Alex shows up with a like double cheeseburger and a biggie fry kind of thing, and I'm like, all right, now we're getting somewhere. We're gonna be all right.
Needed that fuel, man.
That's right. Need a little fuel.
And so I guess the way the hospital is, they have this big corridor, and the lady got me all strapped up, and Amanda had gone to the house, and she got me some gym shorts and all that other stuff, and
some socks.
Yeah. No, I still had. They made me wear the grippy socks.
Oh, did they? Oh, yeah. Well, that's okay.
I still had that.
That's
and
good.
I was like, Amanda, I was like, these things suck. They're yellow. And she goes, that means you're a fall risk. And I was like, oh,
little gut check.
Oh, I'm like, so if they see me walking in the hall with yellow socks, they know like somebody needs to
be holding that guy's arm.
And so the lady comes in and gets me all strapped up, and she puts like this belt around me, and I look like one of these kids with like a leash on.
Yes.
And I'm like, man,
I know this belt.
I'm like, ma'am, I promise you I can. She's like, we're going to make a lap or two around here and see how you do. And, man, my first like 5 or 6 steps, I probably looked like a newborn giraffe.
Yeah.
'Cause
it wasn't what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
All like the blood just rushed back down to my legs, and you just feel this weird feeling. And you're like, okay, that's the point where I was like, I might be all right.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be okay.
Yeah. Were you at this point having any tingling?
No. Once I had stood up, I was okay.
Yeah.
And so I started walking down the corridor, and my boss and his wife had actually showed up at the hospital.
Yeah.
And Alex and Emily were still there.
I get the picture of you. Alex sent me a picture of you walking around.
Yeah.
Or Alex or Amanda. It was one of them.
I was still like half naked.
Yeah.
Like I was just in shorts.
I know, but we needed to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think this happened 2 days before we left to go to Alaska, or the day before we left to go to Alaska. And so I did not get to the hospital to see you or get to Gainesville to see you. You know, we were gone for 18 days. But Alex and Amanda were keeping us informed, and you know, we knew that at least at a certain point that you were going to be okay to a level of at least where you could walk, kind of thing. So they walk you around. You're, like you said, looking like a giraffe out there trying to figure it out.
I'm just like,
How long were you in the hospital?
not even 24 hours.
Yeah, that's so wild.
He was walking within 24 hours of the accident.
That's so crazy. That's that determination, though, that winning mindset you had, too.
Dude, I just didn't. There's just so many things I enjoy, and
yeah,
I know it's crazy to think too. One of the things I thought about too was, you know, like I don't want to roll my daughter down the aisle. Like I want to walk her.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to be in a wheelchair just rolling beside her. Like, screw that, man. Like, let's go. Not that there's anything that, you know, I don't want people to be like, oh,
yeah. I mean, some people are.
You know, there's just, if it had ended up that way, it was. But if there was anything I could do about it, but it's one of the things that just ran through my mind was, I gotta, you know, and so the back thing didn't really bother me. The being at home, all that stuff, you know. That wasn't really painful, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't really a lot of pain. What's painful is this physical therapy now.
Yeah. Well, first, before we get so you go home within 24 hours. You've got this turtle shell on, essentially.
Yep.
How long did you end up being at home before you could go back to any sort of normalcy?
So within like a week, I mean, I was driving because they told me as long as I wore my back brace, I could still drive.
Yeah.
I wasn't on any pain because they were like, you know,
what a miracle.
They were
this is like
they're like, if you're taking the pain medicine, you can't drive. Obviously, if you're taking pain medicine, you can't drive.
Yeah.
So I hadn't taken any, so I was able to do that. You know, able to do a few things here and there.
But primarily, you're at home. You're resting.
Yeah, they wanted me to lay down for the most part because that puts the least amount of pressure.
Yep. Okay. So if you're like sitting like you are right now, does that add pressure to your T11, T12?
Yeah.
Does it make you uncomfortable to sit right there? Do you have a chair that's better for you to sit in, or a way to sit that's better than
I
sitting
like
that?
chairs like this where they have like kind of a hard, like stiff back.
Yep.
Like our couch, you know, it just kind of has that little soft to it.
Yeah.
I don't really like it as much.
Yeah.
This chair feels better.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I mean, as someone who I've never even broken a bone, I don't want to. I genuinely do not know anything about this kind of thing. I mean,
I didn't know anything.
It's just crazy.
About it
I mean, you broke your shoulder, broke your nose. I mean, you've done a couple things.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what that's like.
You don't want to do either one of those.
No, I don't. So they give you or they assign you to physical therapy.
Yeah, they made me wait. I did my first one right at the end of August.
Yeah.
And it kicked.
Oh, so you had to wait a while.
Yeah, they wanted me to wear the brace for a long, long time. The only time I didn't wear the brace is, or they didn't want me to wear the brace is when I was laying down.
Yeah.
But if I got up to like walk around or whatever, you know, they didn't want
the brace on.
They didn't want me to sit down for more than 30 minutes, get up and walk around.
Yeah.
Different things. I couldn't walk to the mailbox. I mean, you seen how long my drive was.
Yeah.
They didn't want me. They didn't want me to walk to the mailbox.
Wow.
Like they were like, you know, incline, decline, don't do it.
Yeah.
And Amanda and the girls, man, they were like, dude, they were
awesome.
They were like Secret Service, man. Like everywhere I went, they were there. They were like, "What are you doing?
What do you need? Are you supposed to be doing that?" I think the doctor said you shouldn't be doing
like
that.
I would walk out. I'd walk out into my shop and just like I would just be there. Like I would sweep the floor, or I would just kind of I would just like look at stuff, and I'm like just trying to think, feel some sort of normalcy.
Yeah.
Instead of just being laid in a bed.
Yeah.
But they were, man. They were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm okay."
Yeah.
They're like, "Why are you out here?" I'm like, I'm
trying to get a breath of
gotta
fresh
get out of
air,
the
man.
house.
Yeah.
Trying to
Get out of the house.
some of this shop air out
just,
here.
I'm just out here sweeping. It's okay. And they're just like, but they did. They followed me around forever. They were like,
Well, you got a great support network. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's cool. And it was, man, I know I'm terrible, man. There were so many people who reached out, social media, text messages, all that stuff. I know I probably didn't reply to everybody or,
nobody expected you to.
It was, man, there was people, they were bringing dinner and, going to the store for us, the doctor that Amanda works for, she had taken the girls to Sam's Club, and they had gone shopping, and Alex and Emily had brought dinner. And
well, and you may not want to say it, but Alex and Emily set up a GoFundMe for you to get you through sort of those uncertain times as to being out of work for over 2 months, and just trying to give you some peace and comfort to know that you got things taken care of, and these folks got your back, and a lot of folks got your back. I think that as much as I wanted to talk to Alex about all sorts of other stuff, there's such a connection between you two, and such a connection to you between you and this story and his recovery, and how much you've just been an awesome friend to Ron, and it's an awesome thing, man. Even the information you shared with us, I mean, just making sure that we all knew what was going on, and ultimately that he was going to be okay, had a long road to recovery, but going to be okay.
Yeah, well, I just want to keep everybody in the loop, and I just knew that he'd do the same thing for me. 100%. And the first thing I thought about, I'm like, okay, he's okay.
Yep.
He's with us. He's walking. We took him home.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I know if I don't work for 8 weeks, I mean, there's things you've got to take care of.
100%.
So, and that doesn't matter. That's all levels.
Yep. No matter what financial situation.
No matter what your situation is. So
true.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to set this up.
Yep.
Or I'm going to ask him first, and then I'm going to set this up. And
I'm glad you did.
Try. Everybody needs a little help.
Yeah, man.
Every once in a while.
We put it in our bio. We put it sent it out in a newsletter. I mean, just. We want you to have that kind of peace. You need to be focused on your recovery and knowing that your family's all good. And and that's what those kind of things are for, and that's what friends are for.
Probably the last, I don't know what year and a half, probably. Like I really hadn't bought a lot of truck parts, but I'd been just basically tooling up my shop.
Yeah.
Like I had been investing heavily, and I had talked to Amanda about it. I said we'd had the conversation of I said, well, we'll just have a yard sale. Yeah, just sell some stuff. We'll just let it all go. Like, do I even want to keep working on stuff?
Yeah. Fair question.
Do
you have an answer for that? And if you don't, that's totally cool. Like, how do you feel about wrenching and being under trucks and?
Man, it's different. Like, I know it can happen. But I think it's just it's just the mindset. Like I don't want to give up. Like I don't want it to
I don't
beat
think it's
me.
giving up if you didn't want to.
Because here's my thing. So I've kind of related to the same thing, but I love motorcycles. I've had motorcycles my whole life. I broke my shoulder on one, all that stuff.
Had a Harley just a couple years ago.
Yeah, I sold it late last year. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why, because I wanted to put money into what I wanted to do, into my business stuff. Yep. I needed equipment, so the Harley had to go. Yep. I've had friends die on motorcycles, man, and I'll be danged if I don't want to throw a leg over one. Like I'm not going to let that. Yeah, it's not going to stop me, kind of thing. So I thought this was like the same analogy. Like I'm not going to let this kick my butt. Like I'm still going to work on stuff. I still want to build cool stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. I still want to make things awesome. The person I feel the worst for is Amanda. Yeah, because. About 3 years ago, I watched this happen to my dad. Yeah.
What happened to your dad?
I watched a car almost fall on my dad at work.
Oh man, yeah, because y'all worked together in a body shop.
Yeah, so Dad has a mid-rise lift, and the car was on it, and as he was cutting stuff out of the body. He was cutting like the floor out of it, and everything was still there. And I guess it just, I don't know if the height that it came up to, and it just kind of was like a teetering point, but it slid. Man. Like the car slid, and he was like on a stool at the back of it. Luckily it slid, but I know what she saw.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't even touch it didn't come close to him, anything like that.
Yeah, but just the fear of it, about knowing that it could have happened.
Seeing the situation, and, and so I told her, and I told the doctor that she works for too. I said, she probably needs to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy to see that.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy for me to see that, especially with my dad as old as he is, and all that stuff. And it's like, so I get it. And that's one of the reasons too, like you said, I don't want it to beat me. I still want to build cool stuff, man.
I think about it though, and I'm like, what could you have done differently? Maybe pull a little less harder, or is there something that in your mind sticks out that was the thing that you think about, like, I wish I didn't do that while I was under there?
The only thing
what I can't.
The only
get
thing
my own mind
the only
around.
thing I've gone through it 1,000,001 times. The only thing I can think of any differently, probably would have saved me if I had the wheels and tires on.
Yeah. But we take them off all the time.
I know, and that's the thing.
To get a little bit more room, and a lot of times more light.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really why I do it a lot of times.
Yeah.
I want more of that natural light or more of the shop light to get in there on the side.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that's just such a crazy.
Yeah. I probably would have had a lot more because I would just had a lot more space in between it.
Yeah, it would have kept the axle from hitting the ground, essentially.
Because it's, I mean, the stock tires that are on the truck, when I bought it, they're like 32 inches. So even if you did half that, 16 inches is what I would have.
Well, I mean, that's a solid takeaway. Maybe sometimes we need a little less light and a little more safety, a little more security. Safety's maybe not the right word. Yeah. A little more security in knowing if this thing does come on down, I've got some wheels and tires to kind of help it out.
Or I'll just take the bed off next time.
Man, for a shackle though,
It's a lot
but
of
it's
work,
but it's my own mind. It's our mindset of, man, we've done this so many times. Like I said, OBS same way. Had it that the same way you're talking about. Jack under the axle, 2 jack stands forward on the flat part of the frame. It's the tried and true combination.
Yeah.
Lord, I wouldn't want to pull a bed, but I also have not been in your scenario either. Yep. So I can imagine that you would be thinking about these things differently. I think that, whatever you decide to do, we'll support you. And I know Amanda will too. And I mean, it does seem, you've had time to think about this. I can tell that like you've really thought about this from a personal perspective, from what it, meant to your family and your friends and Alex and folks who were there, right as it was happening. Like I said, I'm just super glad that you're sitting here today and that you, like I said, have that same, you're still Ron. You're still TTR, man.
Yeah, man. Oh.
And that's so cool. But we're wishing you well. And, is there anything that, anybody in this room or anybody out there can do for you that's not being done, or you feel good and supported?
I mean, I've gone back to work and stuff, I don't know that. So for people that don't, I work in a body shop.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm shop foreman. I'm back on light duty, whatever. Yeah. Mainly a lot of finger pointing now.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, you need to go do that.
Yeah.
Which is weird for me because I don't know, man. Like I said before, it's part of the management team. I don't know who thought that Ron needed to be on a management team, but somebody screwed up somewhere. I guess the resume looked right. So it's just been trying to figure out, what. I'm still on a 15-pound weight limit. What can I do? What can I do? I asked the physical therapist. I said, hey, what can I do?
Yeah.
Like, can I walk? Can I run? She's like, you can run if you want. If you want to try to run a little bit, you can. She's like, you need to do your stretches and all this other stuff. So Monday I started. I did a mile and a half on the treadmill.
Oh yeah.
The only day this week that I did less than that, I did a mile. I think I did a mile Thursday night, but every other day than that, I did a mile and a half.
Very cool.
So
that is awesome.
I feel good about it. I put on some weight that I didn't really want to put on.
Oh man, I feel like I have too, and I hadn't even been going through what you've been going through.
So I'd like to get back to where I was, and then the only real crazy thing that kind of came out of it, they found a spot on one of my kidneys, on my left kidney.
Yep.
Just a little fatty growth, I guess what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's anything crazy. We haven't. They're still watching it. They want to do a couple more scans and see if it goes in size or whatever. Yeah. But I've talked to the doctor about it, and she's like, even if it is something that's, it'll be okay, kind of thing.
Something that can be handled.
And then they saw when they did the scan to look at that, they found like one little tiny speck, like black speck on my liver. So they're like, but with all the chemicals and stuff that I've worked with in the shop and everything, I'm like, that's all you found?
There's a bright side.
That's it, kind of thing. So
I love it.
I keep telling myself, maybe this is, maybe there's a silver lining in this, maybe because even the doctor said we wouldn't have looked at your kidneys or anything. Like if it wasn't for the full body scan, we would have probably never seen this. So if it turns out this is something crazy, then we'll be glad that we caught it this way.
Yep.
And it'll all make sense in like the grand scheme of things, I guess you can put it that way. But it was really hard because I don't ever listen to doctors.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think anybody's surprised about that from you.
Like, I broke my shoulder, broke my collarbone. They're like, you need to wear this brace, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, yeah, gotcha. Like the next day, I'm just like,
it's in the back of the truck.
Yeah. Like my mom will tell him, I was like, he's not gonna do that. And I went to the eye doctor, as a kid, and he's like, he needs to wear his glasses. And Mom's like, yeah, okay, we'll get him, but he's not gonna wear those. So, but she told me, she said, Ron, she said, if you follow what I'm telling you, you're probably gonna be okay.
Yeah.
She said, but if you don't listen and you don't do this, she said, in about probably 5 to 10 years, you're going to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay.
Well, when we first had the conversation, I think you were already home from the hospital. You said something to me about the chronic stuff or, it being something that you're going to have to think about for the long term. And I do, as much as you are fortunate that you don't have a bunch of a bunch of immediate and physical things that are preventing you from living normally for the most part. I do think that's probably the biggest thing that you're going to have to, or that you will probably feel, in your body. We won't see it, but you'll feel it, And I think that is something, if you're going to do anything, you want to do whatever you can to, if it were me, I would be trying to do anything I can to prevent or to lessen those things, the chronic back pain, that sort of stuff. Because, my dad's not been through anything like this, but he's dealt with his back going out all his life, talking laid up on the couch for a week kind of stuff, can't crawl into the bathroom kind of stuff. And, I can't imagine trying to live that way, even though I've seen him, with that. It hasn't happened to him a lot lately, but just, it seems like if you're listening to those folks, that would be the thing that I would do too, is try to do anything I could to lessen what it might look like in 5 or 10 years or 15 or 20,
Because like I said, man, I still want to get out in my shop and build, because I think about it, and I've joked around before with people, I'm like, 12-year-old me would be proud.
Yeah.
A 12-year-old Alex would be proud about, like 12-year-old you, like the stuff the stuff that you have for yourself, and like, and I'm talking like, not 401ks, not houses. I'm talking like, look at this ratchet that I have, man. Like
this cool stuff, that toolbox.
Like I'm talking like battery powered impact. You're like, bro, I have made it.
Yes.
I have battery powered tools, okay, at home.
Yeah, I don't even have to have an air tank around.
Yeah, like 12-year-old me, like I have a welder now, I have air compressor now. 12-year-old me would be like, dude,
yes,
you're doing it.
Yes. That's an awesome perspective. You're right.
You know,
you were right.
So I still want to get in my shop. I still want to build cool stuff. I want to help people build cool
Yeah.
stuff. You know, like I still want to do that. You know, I don't want this to be like, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah. Well, I was curious about that. I know I hadn't talked to you about it, but I thought folks at home might also want to know, and selfishly I did too. But if you walk away with anything from this, like, I want you to know that folks like me and Alex do appreciate all you've done for us, and I know others. I mean, as much as, you know, when you were able to call Alex and him be there, when I call you, you're here for me, you know, and I want to be that way for you. I hope you feel like I'm that way. I am that way for you. But you know, you're a great friend. You're so much fun to be around. You're a knowledgeable dude. You're so much fun to be around in the shop too. I mean, it's just that environment alone is just this really fun space. And we've done some really fun things together. And I want, you know, as much as you want to continue to do those kind of things, man, we want to do that too. It's just a really, really cool thing to hear you say that's what you want to do. You know, you don't want to let this stop you from living out your passion, living out your dreams, messing with that ratchet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, that's, you say all that, and then imagine if you had to work with me every day.
Yeah.
Like, imagine what my guys go
I might
through.
want to throw my ratchet at you.
Yeah. No,
No,
those guys are cool. I gave them popsicles the other day.
See? Shop foreman at its best,
Best
man.
foreman ever.
Best foreman ever.
I thought that they would like laugh at it, but they had those popsicles, those little like cheapo, like they're in the red sack.
Yeah.
Those like they're like
The plastic ones you got
like the
pop off of.
Kool-Aid ones.
Yes.
Well, I put those in my freezer at work, and every Friday we clean the shop.
Yeah.
And I had stopped by the shop a couple times, and they were like, "Man, it's just different since you've been out." And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "There's no shop lunches.
Yeah.
There's none of this." So like
So you got that morale boost.
it's like my first day back, my first week back on that Friday, I was like, "Hey, go in there in the shop money,
Yeah.
order some pizza." And these
Yeah.
guys are like, "Ron's back."
Yes.
I'm like,
yes.
get him some pizza.
Yeah.
We're gonna have pizza for lunch.
That's right.
You know, I want my guys to know, like, I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay. We're
Yeah,
gonna,
man.
You know, shop's still gonna do shop stuff. And so I was like, on Fridays we always clean the shop up. So they started cleaning the shop, and I come through with just this pile of popsicles. And I'm like, "Guys want popsicles?" And they're just like, "Dude, you have popsicles?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I thought you guys were gonna laugh about this." And they're like, "We didn't know you had popsicles in the freezer
Yeah.
the whole time you've been out." I was like, "Oh no, I put them in there the other day, dude."
This is
Like,
this is a now thing.
yeah, they haven't been in my freezer the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, so I
Well.
think those guys are happy. You know, I'm happy to be back. It feels somewhat normal.
Yeah.
I went yesterday. Yesterday was probably one of the longest days I've had. I don't mean that in a bad way. But
Yeah.
Alex is putting up a fence at his house. I
Yeah.
went over there
Yeah.
and just supervised.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're good at that too.
I supervised, so
Yeah.
you know, but it was cool to be, you know, like out in the heat, out in the sun, you know,
Yeah.
get out, get up, get moving around. Like,
Man, it was especially hot yesterday too.
It was.
Getting acclimated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so-
do. I mean, I do think that's a part of therapy in itself.
Yeah.
You know, Alex, throughout this whole, you know, his hospital stay or him getting to the hospital, getting out of the hospital, or being back at home, is there anything that sticks out to you as, oh, that's just Ron being Ron? Or is there anything funny that, like, or just a moment that you can think of that sticks out to you about through this whole process? The socks thing is very funny.
The socks thing was
that's pretty
probably
dang
the-
funny.
now I'm gonna have people being like, "What's Ron's address? So I can mail
Oh,
him some
well, they
socks."
already called you Crocs and socks. I
Yeah.
mean, that was
Yeah.
already a thing that, like, because you were always running around with Crocs and socks on.
Listen though, if they do want to send socks though, send the grippy ones.
They can be yellow.
They say what you want, but
You're
they
still
are,
a fall risk, so
Yeah.
they need to be yellow.
They-
right.
they were pretty nice.
Yeah, I love it.
He just how, you know, like I got a lift not too long ago.
Yeah.
So I call him up and I'm like, you know, I talk to him every day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how you feeling today? He's like, I'm good. And I said, well, tomorrow I'm going to Kennesaw.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick my 2-post up. And I'm like, are you able to ride in a vehicle? You
Yeah.
know? And he's like, yeah. So, I mean, but the most memorable thing about, you know, besides the socks is, you know, he bounced right back,
Yes.
you know, is still Ron.
being Ron.
Because at first, I could tell he's hurting.
Yeah.
And moving a little slower than normal, and I'm like, is he okay?
Yeah.
But you could tell he's still processing, exactly what happened, especially like the day that we took him home.
Yeah.
I'm like, you all right, buddy? He said, yeah. And, he said, I want to walk over here real quick, because I had me and Emily's family had put the truck back together.
Yes.
Got it back on the ground.
Yep. Forgot to talk about that.
And, so that was one of the things we did that night. We got it to where it was safe.
Yep.
It wasn't going to fall.
Yep.
And we got him home, and he's like, I'm going to walk around here real quick. And I just, put my hand on his shoulder. I was like, you sure?
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to go down that road right now? And he was like, yep, I'm just going to walk over there. And I'm going to look. And, it was just
had to come to terms
dead
with it.
silent.
Yeah.
Dead silent. And I'm like, all right, you good? He said, yep, let's go in the house. So
Yeah, man.
But the best thing was, just how quick he's been able to get back to.
Yeah.
This is Ron.
I noticed that immediately. Not that I was with you, like physically sitting across from you, but as soon as I landed in Anchorage on June 18th, I think it was, 19th, I was texting him, there was taxidermy all in that lodge I was in. This is just some random old hotel, near the airport. And we walk in and I'm like, it's not a particularly nice hotel, but there was crazy cool taxidermy all in the grizzlies and moose and bison, all sorts of crazy stuff mounted in there. And I was sending him pictures, and we're talking about meat eater, we're talking about Ranella, we're talking about hunting in Alaska, and just, stuff that we talk about when we're not talking about trucks, and I felt like that was my kind of moment of, he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. It is a bit refreshing to know what you've gone through, and for you to sit here with that smile on your face and seem to be just Ron.
He's still Ron.
He's still Ron.
Can't quit now.
Nah, can't quit now. But I know a lot of folks have been curious about what happened, but more importantly, have just wanted to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
And I know there was some confusion about what kind of accident you had, even though we were pretty clear, in the ways we needed to be clear, but some people just still were a little confused. And so I really appreciate you being willing to just come on and talk about this, and hopefully put a lot of people's mind at ease. And, you're building a little army of prayer warriors and folks. You've already done that. People have already been praying for you and all that, but that'll continue. And we're just so glad you're doing good. So,
man, I appreciate it. Like I said, I know everybody's been worried. I'm glad for all the people that reached out, all the people that helped. Me, my family, my parents. We all appreciate it. Everything. From people bringing meals and Alex, with the GoFundMe stuff. It's helped out so much. It's sometimes you don't realize how big your circle is until
until you need that circle.
Until you need that circle.
Until you need that circle.
It takes a village kind of thing. I'm thankful for it. I hate that I had to miss a summer of car shows, but I think the one I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna try to make Fall Revival.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Like, I want to go up there. I want to hang out. I think I'll probably be in good enough shape. I can probably walk around for a while.
Dude, yeah, you go walk around. Come sit back at the booth.
Yeah.
We'll have the couch out or whatever you need. We'll make sure you have it. You just come hang out if you want to.
Yeah. That's the plan. I'd like to. I'd like to remember what still makes me happy and everything else. And
well, when you're ready to get back in the shop, or you're ready to get back doing whatever you want to do on the automotive side, obviously you let us know, and we'll be there. I know, Alex, was it you and a couple other? I know we need to run here, but you and a couple of guys that ended up color matching some of the F-150.
That was actually his guys.
So your guys at the office, we should probably give them a bit of a shout out for that.
Yeah, they were super cool. So Amanda had talked to them about some stuff, and I'd already gotten some parts for the truck that I wanted to change out the grill. I wanted to paint match the bumpers. So they took care of all that. I got it back, and I was like, man, I really appreciate you guys. They were like, man, we just thought it'd make you happy, kind of thing. We just wanted to do a little something for you, and like I said, I try to be that shop foreman, boss, whatever you want to call it. I try to be that guy that I always wanted somebody to be for me.
Yeah.
Like, if you screw up, I got to let you know you screwed up.
Yeah.
But if we're trending in the right direction, like, everybody deserves praise.
It's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's real cool. So you've got the F-150 now has the shackles on it,
Yeah.
and it's been color matched, which is I know something you've done on like every single one of
every
your
truck,
vehicles,
so.
every one
That's
that's ever
definitely
existed.
what he does.
They all get it. So
Well, is there anything else you want to say before we cut? I think
that's it, man. I appreciate everything, dude. I
Yeah,
really
man.
do. I appreciate Alex, man. Yeah, it's
Me
been,
too.
Me
too.
I know you do it for me, man.
Yeah,
I
from
know both of you would.
From the whole crew, all our extended, truck family. Yeah. Thank you for keeping us all updated and,
absolutely
making sure that we knew that Ron was going to be in a good spot. So, I think we'll cut it here.
Yeah,
the circle's big, man. You got a circle.
Yeah.
You got a big circle of support.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Well, we'll do it again soon.
Sounds good.
See you.
Thanks for having us out.
Yeah, man.